以下是耶稣针对奇迹正文第7章第3节所做的示意，请在看完奇迹正文第7节第3章之后再来聆听。You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. 你确实是有福之人，我是你所知的耶稣。One of the great tricks of the ego is this constant questioning, constant worrying, constant wondering. 小我的一大花招就是不断的质疑，不断的担忧，不断的纳闷。One of the ways that you will know that these teachings are sinking in to your consciousness is that you will become calmer, you will become less questioning and less doubting. 有一种方式能够让你知道这些教诲已经潜入你的意识，那就是你会变得更加平静，你会变得较少质疑，较少疑惑。And each day you'll take on a feeling of wonder, contentment, happiness, and joy. 同时，你每一天都会获得一种奇妙、满足、快乐和喜悦的感觉。Now, many of you who are reading and listening to this text are not in that place. There is a lot of going on in your world that causes you consternation, that makes you think that something is going wrong. 然而，许多正在学习这部课程的人尚未到达这个境地。你们的世界有许多的事情正在发生，它令你感到惊愕，且使你觉得有些事情不对劲。But what we want you to understand, it is only your thoughts about what is happening that is causing your consternation. 但我们希望你了解，唯有你对正在发生的事情的想法，才会造成你的惊愕。It is possible for you to gaze upon the world and trust that all is working together for good, and that you are experiencing exactly what you need to experience to fulfill your purpose here, which is to come into alignment with love. And this is what is happening on your planet at this time. 你可以做到观看着这个世界时，信赖万事皆互相效力。你所经验的正是你需要经验的，这样你才能达成你在此的目的，也就是达到与爱一致的状态。这是此时你们的星球正在经历的事情。We want you to understand that the thumb screws that are being twisted and turned are in fact causing each of you to reflect upon your lives in a more profound way. 我们希望你了解正在扭紧的螺丝，事实上促使你们每个人更加深入的反观。You are beginning to see that there are certain things that you don't need. You are beginning to see that there are certain people that you are out of alignment with, or that you do not feel are supportive in the purpose with which you have aligned yourself. 你会开始看出你并不需要某些东西，你会开始看出你与某些人并不同道，或是你没有感觉到他们支持你已经对准的人生目的。Now, this is not about judging them as less than you, but it is about accepting that they have a different purpose than you, and that perhaps you're hanging out with them all the time is not beneficent to either of you. 然而这并非要你去评判他们不如你，而是接纳他们有着与你不同的人生目的，或许总是与他们为伍，对彼此并没有好处。Now, this may seem as if you are perpetuating some form of separation, but the truth of the matter is, as human beings in these physical forms in which you find yourself, you can only spend so much time a day with so many people. 这听起来像是你正在延续某种形式的分裂，但事实上，身为人类，你以这种身体形式存在，一天当中只能花费这么多的时间与这么多的人相处。And so one of the things that's happening right now is prioritizing. You are being to prioritize and see that there are certain things that are going to give you beneficent results, that you are going to like the fruit of those trees that you are tending, and there are other things that are not going to give you the fruit that you want, and you are now perceiving them perhaps as a waste of time or having a lack of focus that is not to your benefit. 所以此时你需要做的一件事就是确定优先顺序。你开始决定优先顺序，并且看出某些事情将会为你带来有益的结果，且你将会喜欢你所照料的那些树上所结的果实。其他的事情将不会带来你想要的结果，可能你现在会认为那些事情是在浪费时间，是转移你的焦点，对你并没有益处。And so prioritizing and witnessing what you believe in is what is going on at this time. And those of you that are doing a course in miracles and studying these texts and hanging out with us, you are beginning to see that there is a simpler way of being, and that there is focus required for your life to flourish in the way that you would like it to flourish in. 因此，确定优先顺序，并且审视自己的信念，是你此时需要做的事。正在与我们一起阅读这些正文的奇迹学员，你们会开始看出有一种更加单纯的存在方式。你需要专注，才能够让你的人生兴旺，且是以你想要的方式来兴旺。Now, what's happening here is the mind is becoming less distracted. It is becoming less confused, and it is becoming less conflicted. 实际的情况是，现在你比较不会分散注意力，比较没有困惑，比较没有冲突。And as a result of that, you will find that you are calmer and more easygoing and more happy to do simple things that align with your desires for a good life. 因此，你会发现自己更加平静，更加随和，且更乐于去做单纯的事情。这些事情符合你对美好人生的渴望。This is one of the consequences of doing the course. 这是你学习这部课程的结果之一。You are less easily upset by some of the words someone might say. For example, because you perceive them as your brothers. You perceive them as being perhaps in that moment in their ego, and that the words that are coming out of their mouths are not to be taken literally or in offense. They are merely to be perceived as an error that they are making, and it has nothing to do with you. 比如说，现在你比较不容易被他人的言语激怒，因为你视他们为自己的弟兄，你会认为他们可能一时陷入自己的小我之中，你不需要把他们的话语当真或视为一种冒犯，你只需把这些话语视为他们所犯的一个错误，跟你毫无关系。So perhaps,In the past, you would have reacted volatilely and gotten angry and perhaps got into a fight with somebody. Whereas now you are beginning to chill out, as you say in your society, and you are seeing that the words that they are saying are coming from a place of fear. 或许过去你曾以暴怒的方式来回应，也或许你曾与某人发生冲突，但现在你开始冷静下来，且你开始看出那些话语是出自恐惧。Their actions may also be coming from a place of fear, as fear is being inculcated in your society at this time, and those beings that watch,The mainstream information stations are once again being primed with fear. 他们的行为也可能是出自恐惧，因为此时恐惧正在反复地灌输到你们的社会中，而那些观看主流媒体讯息的人再次被灌注了恐惧。What you are doing with A Course in Miracles is,You are priming yourself with love and forgiveness. And what that does is, it sets the tone for what you will allow to enter into your consciousness. 当你学习奇迹课程时，你是在为自己灌注爱与宽恕，这样做的结果是，它为你设定一种基调，决定什么样的事物获准进入你的意识。If something is fearful and unloving and you have been priming yourself with love, you will merely look at it and say, "That's not going to penetrate this consciousness. It is unwelcome." 如果某件事情令人恐惧且缺乏爱心，而你已经为自己灌注了爱，那么你只会看着那件事情而说，它不会渗透我的意识，它不受欢迎。Not only is it unwelcome, but there is an indifference here to it. There is not a buying into the story coming from within your mind.它不仅不受欢迎，且无关紧要，你的内心不会相信那种故事。Now, the ego within you, of course, will want to. You'll feel it start to rise up and say, well, this is going to be a bad thing. This could cause us some trouble. 当然，你心中的小我会想要相信它。你会感觉到它开始冒出来说，哎，这将是一件很糟糕的事，可能会给我们造成一些麻烦。But because you are primed with love and forgiveness, you will tell the ego to settle down. You will not listen to its stories of dread, disaster, and death.但因为你的心中已经灌注了爱与宽恕，所以你会让小我安静下来，你不会听信他所说的恐怖、灾难和死亡的故事。So keep going with these lessons. We understand that they are challenging given the very great and loud distractions that your world is offering you at this time. 所以请继续学习这些课程，我们了解这对你来说充满挑战，因为此时2022年8月，你们的世界正给予你巨大的噪音来转移你的注意力。But when you do this work, you will feel that you are, we will say, for want of a better word, immune to the shenanigans that are going on out in the world. 但是当你在做这部课程的练习时，你会感觉到自己不受世界上正在进行的种种轨迹所影响，我们姑且称之为对轨迹免疫。You must remember that the shenanigans going on out in the world have always been going on out in the world, whether it was a war or slavery or some political drama. There is a never-ending stream of the ego's games and beings who want to play in the ego's world. 你必须记得这个世界上正在进行的那些轨迹，过去始终都在发生，不论是战争、奴役或某种政治戏码，有一种永不间断的小我游戏在进行，且有人想要在小我的世界游玩。That is not you. You are working on climbing the ladder out of the battleground, up towards heaven, and that is what we are about. 那个人不是你，你正在爬上阶梯，以出离战场，往上走而迈向天堂，这正是我们的盼望。So, trust your feelings and guide yourself to choose that which brings you joy and happiness and contentment, and know that the ways of the ego are not for you. 因此，请信赖你的感觉，并且引导自己去选择能够带给你喜悦、快乐和满足的事情。心里知道，小我的道路不适合你。I am that one that you know as Jesus, and I will speak to you again soon. 我是你所知的耶稣，我们很快再续。